Hey, hey, hey! Well, at last, it's arrived. The box I've been waiting for all day has finally landed. It's only supposed to be here at 8:30 this morning, but you know, miracles being miracles. So here we go. Should we take a look at what's inside this box? Because this might be one of the most anticipated kits we've seen in quite a while. Let's take a look, shall we? Here we go. ICM's B-26 Marauder. Put that over there. So, this is the kit that so many people have been waiting for so long, with only monograms and the AMT versions available in this scale. It's been a long time coming for us to get a state-of-the-art kit. And so when this was announced a few years back, everybody was jumping up and down at the idea of it. So yeah, fabulous. Been looking forward to this. So let's take a look. We'll take a quick look. This isn't going to be an in-depth review. I'm just going to show you what this kit's like, what we've got inside, and then it'll give you a fair idea when it comes to if you decide that you're going to buy one. So none of this is planned. I don't know what this kit looks like, because this is obviously the first time I'm opening the box as well. So let's take a squidge. As usual with ICM, it's really well packaged, as you can kind of imagine. So tip this over. So as usual with ICM, we've got a whole raft of pale grey plastic parts, nicely bagged up. Doesn't look to be too complicated from what I can see. There's not a huge amount of pieces in this. It's not broken down any more than it needs to be, which is fairly typical of ICM. Their kits are simply created and pretty user friendly as well. They're not there's not thousands and thousands of parts in them. They don't take a great deal of time to put together. So here we've got the fuselage sections. So if I just open the bag so that we can kind of take a little bit of a closer look. So here we go. So everything's nicely moulded as usual. Plastic's typical of ICM's plastic. It is quite soft. You can feel it's quite sort of flexible, but it's nicely moulded. Everything's really sharp. There's no flashing evidence. We've got nicely rendered panel lines on here. There's no rivets at all. It's just panel lines, so it's fairly traditional in its decoration, which I'm okay with. That's fine. If you want to add rivets, there are ways to do that now. But if all you want is the panel line detail that you can bring out with washes later on, that's fine. So fairly conventionally broken down, very similar to Monogram's kit in that sense. So fuselage halves. Here we've got two sprues that are identical. They both carry engines, which you can see here. Engine detail's nice, plenty of fin detail on there, so that should look good under a wash. Doesn't look like the engines are broken down into a million parts either. So we've got sort of basic engine shapes here, and then exhausts and various other details. Because I'm doing this really quickly, I can't remember what all of these things are, but you can see the levels of detail there. This runner also carries the weapons, carries bombs and main wheels. Main wheels have got relatively kind of shallow tread detail on the tyres, but the detail across the kit looks to be really nice. And those wheels, the wheel hubs look excellent there as well. That's really nice. They'll look great under paint, I think. So that's nice. Internal detail inside the gear bay doors, which you can see here as well. One of the things that's noticeable immediately is that none of the internal parts seem to be marred with any kind of ejector pin marks, which is great. Certainly some modern kits do tend to have those kind of marring marks. Try saying that 1,000 times over and over again, marring marks. But these don't. These are super smooth. Really, really nice. Actually, while I'm taking a look at the engines, if we go to the instructions, we'll get perhaps a better idea of how detailed those engines are likely to be. Yeah, here you go. So this is the instructions for the engine. So you can see the number of parts that go on there. So I'd imagine that these engines are detailed enough that should you wish to open up cowling panels, you'll be able to. I don't think the kit necessarily offers that as an option. In fact, it doesn't offer that as an option from what I can see. But should you want to add detail to those engines and have them on show, I think that's more than doable. You can see here just how detailed those engines are. That's really nice. They're certainly way more detailed than the monogram ones, which are just single-faced, single bank of cylinders, nothing more than that. So we can kind of go through, while I've got the instructions to hand, we may as well take a look at the instructions. They go through in a fairly sensible way, taking you through the initial internal construction and then onto cockpit detailing. Cockpit looks to be comprehensive as well. There's plenty of detail inside there. Guns here, bomb bay. Yeah, there's a ton of detail inside this model, which looks great. But only detail where you can see it. It doesn't look like they've necessarily added a lot of sort of internal sections where none of it will be on show. So you can see here that that's just blank, which is fine by me. There's no need to have detail inside there just for the sake of it. It just becomes a flex then, where model manufacturers are showing off their ability to create detail when none of it can be seen. I don't really understand the creation of detail that can't be seen. So moving through, instructions are really nicely drawn. They should be easy enough to follow, so that's good. Just flicking through. This is useful as well. The kit doesn't offer masks, but it does offer templates that you can use here. This has been seen in previous ICM kits, so you can use this template as a full-size reference guide for cutting your own masks. Put masking material over the top of the instructions, or scan these out and scan them onto masking film, and that will help you to create the masks that you need for this. Nice and easy. 3 options in the kit. If you can just hear that, that's my wife who's just cheered because Coventry City have just been Leeds United. So I'm trying to ignore the football. That's why I'm doing this. I'm rather breathily. So you get three options on the decal sheet. This one is fairly well known. We've seen this one before. In fact, this is on the decal sheet that I showed last week in my video on Monograms kit. So this is Big Hairy Bird, a very famous aeroplane, 599th Bomb Squadron, Péronne in France during December of '44. The first one is an olive drab over neutral grey aircraft. This one is Ladies Delight, 584th Bomb Squadron. It says probably Boreham, which would be down towards London during the summer of '44. And then finally, this one's another French-based aircraft. This one is Coral Princess 3rd, 494th Bomb Squadron. That one's, so we've got this one here in olive drab over neutral grey. This one here is natural metal with invasion stripes, and again, this one's natural metal as well with invasion stripes. Decals are here. These look to be reasonably nicely printed. So you can see the full sheet there. It gives you everything that you need. The one thing that may prove to be slightly tricky is to create the yellow panels on the nose here. So that's quite a complex area of yellow that you're going to need to mask off to be able to use those markings, because the only thing that they give you on the decal sheet is the sharp mouth here. So they don't give you the surrounding area of yellow. That's fine. I'm sure you'll be able to work around that without too much trouble. Seeing that marking like that with that, I'm not sure I like it too much, to be honest. I'd rather have a bit more a muted one. I rather like that one though. That's quite tidy. That's really tasty. So that's the instructions, decal sheet. Interesting that they give you a little catalogue inside here as well that shows off the ICM colour range. I've never seen any of these paints, so don't know what they're like, but they look okay. Water-based paints. So that's that. What do we have here? Yeah, this was something that I'd seen before. So This will look nice in the workroom. A nice poster stroke calendar that you'll be able to put on your wall. That was kind of amazing. I think that's a great piece of artwork, actually. I really like that. I might have to put that up. Yeah, nice. Okay, so that's the two runners for the engines and superficial details, bombs, that kind of thing. Another runner here gives you undercarriage parts. You can see those in there. These look like bay liners as well for the undercarriage. Those are racks for the bomb bay. That gives you an idea of how much detail is in here. These are bomb bay racks. Bombay spice. Oh, I'm hungry now. This is cockpit detail as well. The instrument panel has got no raised detail on this instrument panel here, you can see. However, those instruments are on the decal sheet, so you'll paint the panel and put the decals on, and that'll give you all your instrument faces. That's fine. Another smaller runner with other parts that look like they're parts for the cockpit, and also Bombay detail parts, but you can get a sense just by kind of looking at this, if the camera will sort of focus in on those, you can see just how nicely detailed and moulded these are. The moulding quality on this kit is absolutely sensational, really superb. And even where parts have been moulded, obviously using two-part moulds, the mould lines are really fine, so that's going to take almost next to no time to clean up. Larger sections. Move these out of the way. And this bag here, this is obviously wing parts. You can see here, one of the things that's really pleasing about this model is that the control surfaces are all separate. As you can see here, they're all broken. So you've got separate flaps, you've got separate elevators, ailerons, rudder. That's really fantastic. That's going to make the model look really dynamic when it's built. I'm sure you can have some of those control surfaces deflected. You can see the delicacy of the detail across the surface of the wing. Again, I mentioned this earlier on, there isn't any riveting on those. It's just smooth. I'm happy with that, that's fine. One thing that, if you rub your finger across here, underneath there are ribs for the roof of the gear bay, and you can feel those underneath the surface of the plastic where they've slightly sunk. You can actually see that slightly there if you just rub your finger across the top. That might need a little tiny bit of sanding just to smooth that off. Nothing too bad though. Yeah, really nice, really impressive detailing. Having built a number of ICM kits over the years, this pretty much follows suit. I built the ICM Bronco a year or so ago, and it was almost, I think it might have been kit of the year, or very close to being kit of the year, and I think this will be up there for many modelers this year. Again, as with Monogram's kit, they have got bulkheads for the bomb bays, front and back. You can see them, and they include integral spars, which is exactly how Monogram approached theirs, which is good. That'll set the angle of the wings nicely. Also separate, there's the roof of the bomb bay, so you've got separate parts for that as well. I don't see this being, just a very quick cursory glance at it like this, I don't see this being a very complicated or very long-winded build. I think this will be a fun build to put together, and a really pleasing model will be the result of your work at the end of the process. I'm really looking forward to building this, can't wait. The Marauder is my all-time favourite twin-engine aircraft. I absolutely adore it, and yet I've never built a model of one, and I'm going to be building two over the next month or so. So looking forward to this. I just thought you'd like to have a really quick look at what you can expect from this kit should you choose to buy one. This is not, it's not prepared. It's not meant to be in any way an authoritative review. This is just an unboxing, just to show you what you can expect. I hope you've enjoyed seeing this. I hope you've enjoyed seeing this kit. It's over the next sort of few days, I'll put more of a preview up, and I'll take some photographs and put them on my website so you can see it in a little bit more detail. But thanks for checking in. Thanks for taking a look at this, and thanks to Jadlam, who who got this into the post when I bought one on Thursday and got it into the post for me to take a look at it today. Thanks very much for checking in on this. Thanks very much for your support as usual, and I'll see you again next time. Cheers. Bye.